Okay, so I'm going to share with you all right now, okay, what it looks like, what it sounds like to no shit properly schedule someone, okay, as a setter for the closer. Okay, this is like very important because most people don't do this and they wonder a couple of things. They wonder why the show rate is so low, why they're not in communication about not being there, and they don't know why. Okay, like let's go over the whys first. So, why do they not show up? Okay, they don't show up because they're not really sold. You know, you think you closed their ass, you didn't. You just essentially manipulated them or whatever, coerced them to say yes to get you off their back, right? To get out of that call. Seriously, a lot of people do that because they just want to get off the call. So they're like, oh yeah, sure, tomorrow at 5, sure, but they don't really mean it. But you know, you're not listening, right? So you wouldn't be able to tell anyway. So look, you know, when a client leaves the call, okay, consider that if they're not inspired, seriously, like, how do you know? I'm gonna say this first and then I'll define it for you even more, right? If they're not inspired, if they're not motivated, if they're not like eager, you know, and happy to go to the closer, if you're a setter, this is like setter training, then seriously, like, what are you doing? Like, you're not doing your job. You're not being professional. You're not delivering extraordinary customer service. You're not. All you did was just, you know, close them down, however you did it, probably manipulation and coercion, or they just want to get you off the fucking phone. And they're like, yeah, sure, tomorrow, 5, great, whatever, bye. You know? So look, you don't want that. You don't. And if you have that already, look, it's not a problem if you've been that way. It's really not, right? It's just where you are in your development and training. It's fine. Seriously, it's not a problem. I've been there too. I've been the asshole too who's like, yeah, I fucking got him, right? He never shows up, right? We've all been there. We've all been there. We're all human, okay? But I'm telling you, it just doesn't work, okay? If you want to be like the best, okay? So here's what it looks like, right? Now I'm painting the picture here. So you want them to leave the phone being, I said, inspired, motivated, excited, happy, whatever. So how do you do that, right? So you want to create the scheduling, or not even scheduling, but the whole call. I mean, we don't have time for this right now. Just mock me, practice this. But you know, the entire call should be about them, period. You know, like if you ever hear me mock, or you hear me mock calls to people, like 90+% of the time, the attention and the speaking and the focus is on the prospect. It's on the client. I talk, yes, but mostly I'm asking questions or I'm like recreating what they said. I'm summarizing it so they get that I got what they said, right? So they know that I'm listening. But normally it's the client doing most of the talking when I sell, right? And that should be how it is. Now, when you're asking questions about their life, like what are they dealing with? Like Jacob said, right? Like building that connection. It's seriously everything. Seriously. I was talking to a guy this morning who was in sales for a while and he's in like a dead end job now in high ticket sales and he wants to do something different. I'm like, great, like let's see how good you are. And this guy has spent like 15 grand on trading. Seriously. He's done like NEPQ 2, 3 of the training programs, like insane. And I'm like, great, let's see what 15K gets you. I was kind of being an asshole. And he's like, all right. So he mocks selling me their program. It was like a personal coaching program, whatever. And you know, he did his thing, and I listened, and I was just like, bro, I'm like, that conversation was entirely transactional. And like he's like, what do you mean by that? Like, I get it a little bit. And I said, what I mean is, you know, the entire conversation was very scripted. You know, it was like boom, 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 boom. Now, he did ask some good questions, right? He was listening for sure, but he wasn't getting into my shit, to use that term. Like it was very surface level stuff. Like he really didn't know how was for me now my life. He'd ask about my wife. He'd ask about my experience at work, why I was so dissatisfied. Like he was because he wasn't actually interested. Now, I'm sure as a human being, he's a great guy, and I'm sure he is really. But as a sales guy, as a setter or closer, he hasn't been trained at all, because I could tell it's very obvious because he wasn't doing it, to be able to get into my shit in a way that's like very loving and empowering. Like I told him, yeah, I'm working at a job and it sucks. And he was like, oh, okay, well, why does it suck? And I was like, well, my boss sucks. And I was like, oh, okay, so you have a shitty boss. I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, I got that. And then moved on somewhere else. Like I would have gone deeper. I would have been like, you know, I want to get the emotion here. I'd be like, well, what do you mean it sucks? Like, what is like tell like walk me through a day of your job, Alex. And I'd be like, oh man, check this out, right? I go to work every day, and all this mofo does is micromanage me. He tells me how to do my job. He tells me blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, he can't lead for shit. He has no training development at all for me. And all he does is freaking tell me what to do. And this, all I pretty much do with this guy all day is yell at him to get shit done for me. Because that's the kind of relationship that we have. Now, I never would have said that, right? But the guy didn't ask, because who says that, like out of nowhere. But he didn't ask, right? Because he wasn't being interested really in my life. How do I know? Because he'd ask me those kind of questions. Like, he didn't give a shit. He had a very superficial base script and methodology that he learned that he paid $15K for, which is wholly ineffective. And that's what he did, right? And I was like, listen, bro, like, what does transactional mean now? I explained that to you. It means that even though you had some good questions, it was still very like by the numbers. Like question 1, question 2, ask some questions. Great, question 3. Like there was a scripted flow to it. And it was very obvious. He wasn't interested in my life. He really didn't give a shit. And when we were done, how do you know? I didn't feel any kind of emotional connection with him at all. Like zero. Like I really didn't give a shit about the guy, period. I didn't know him at all. He didn't really know me that much, And in sales, guys, like in girls, whoever's listening, like it's crucial. If you want to be a badass closer or a setter, people have to like you. They have to know you, and they have to trust you when they say, look, you know what? I think this is a fantastic fit, John. You've said you want A, B, C, D, E, F, G in life, and you showed me how life is like right now, and I showed you how we can get you there, and you told me you were excited about it. You said that you're stoked, you want to hear more about it, and this could be a great fit, right? So look, I want to move forward with you here, connect you with my guy, Chris here. He has more information and can actually enroll you if it's something you want to do. So look, here's how you schedule people. Okay, listen carefully, here we go. So I'm gonna mock you right here. All right, so John, it looks like you said you're looking for a way to start making, right now you said like you're the best, right? You're kicking ass at your job, you're doing fantastic, but you're capped out, right? Like there's no way for you to make more money. And I really do how frustrating it is, and how you don't wake up in the morning every day excited about work because you can't make any more money. And because of that, you can't get you and your wife a house living in San Diego because it's so expensive, right? And that's what you want. You want a place to make a lot more money, to get a house for you and your wife, a yard for your dog, so you could have options in life. You could, go on vacation more, which you've always wanted to do, and pay off your debts and your wife's student loans, right? Yeah, I get that, man. And, I told you that, we have people that come in within 30 days. They're like you, right? They're grinders. They're hustlers. They will be relentless. People like you. And within 30 days, they come in and they're ready in the pipeline and they're already getting offers. And some of them that I've recruited are already making 10, 15 grand a month in their first 45 days. And look, you said you're making 7 and you average 30 deals a month, right? In my industry, that's about 15 grand a month if you do 30 deals a month. So dude, seriously, I think this could be a fantastic fit. I mean, this will give you exactly what you want, and you don't have to wait years to get this. You can have this within 60 days or less. So how does that sound for you, John? Oh my God, Alex, that sounds fantastic. Wow. This could really change my life. I'm gonna tell my wife about this, that I have a call tomorrow, or I'm gonna schedule a call with you guys tomorrow, or whatever, right? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, look, so here's the next steps, okay? So next, I want to schedule with my guy, Chris, okay? So I'm gonna email you his Calendly right now. Is your email address johnbaptist@gmail.com? Yes, it is. Great. So I'm gonna email you right now. Can you please do me a favor? Okay, pause for a second. Okay, asking permission as a closer and a setter is essential. Seriously, it's essential. I don't tell people to do shit on my calls. If you listen to me, I really don't. The only thing I might say is something like, look, man, this is it. Like, you need to do this job. This will give you the life you want. That might be the only way I ever do it. But I never tell them to do shit, because when you're telling someone to do something, okay, neurobiologically, like neuroscience says and biologically says, that when you tell someone to do something and you're not in that kind of relationship with them, like to do so, okay, it activates the pain center of their brains. Think about it. A mother telling her child what to do. Is he ever happy about it? No. Why? Because he's telling her what to do. It's painful. Imagine someone right now, Jacob, telling you how to live your life and they don't fucking know you at all. Would you be happy about it? Would you be receptive about it? Fuck no, right? You'd be like, fuck you, right? I mean, this is like real talk, right? So look, people don't respond to that either. And look, seriously, I get that in NLP and NEPQ and all these other methodologies, they say, oh yeah, control the conversation, you know, be in control, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, if you want to get to like the elite levels like I'm at, forget all that bullshit. Seriously. Yeah, it works, but it's manipulation. You ever hear of buyer's remorse? That's where it comes from. People who buy something because they got manipulated to doing so, and then all of a sudden they wake the fuck up a day later and like, what the hell did I just do? And they can't. Seriously, this is it's a fucking industry term for Christ's sakes, because it's so prevalent. And I'm telling you guys, it's not necessary. It's really not. And if you want to have a conversation with the clients inspired, excited, and happy, they cannot have a whiff, any sense of being manipulated, period, or they will not, right? So let's continue here. All right, John. So look, I'm going to email you the Calendly right now. Can you please do me a favor and check your email and tell me if you get it? Oh yeah, no problem, Alex. Cool, I'll wait. Oh yeah, I got it here. Great. Can you now please go into the Calendly link? And listen, man, I don't want you to wait any more than you have to, right? You told me how miserable you are at your job because of, you're capped out and your boss sucks. So look, schedule tomorrow if you can, okay? Make it work. So do me a favor, please schedule time tomorrow, right now, and tell me you're done and tell me what day and time it is, okay? Yeah, no problem, Alex. Okay, I have tomorrow at 12 p.m. Okay, is that Pacific or Eastern, or what time zone is that, John? Pacific, great. All right, let me confirm Chris's calendar, make sure it's on there. Okay, great. All right, my friend, we got you scheduled, no problem. So look, John, sometimes, life happens, right? You said that you have a wife, maybe she has an emergency tomorrow. You know what? Something may come up that will have you not be able to make it, right? And look, if that happens, seriously, it's not a problem. So here's what we do, okay? So I know we've been talking already on Messenger. So can you do me a favor, John? If you have any kind of breakdown, in your scheduling, in your family, whatever, seriously, it's not a problem. I get it, it's life. But can you please just send me a message on Messenger or email and just tell me you can't make it? And then we could totally reschedule this for the next day or so. Not a problem. Would that be okay? Oh yeah, Alex, no problem. Yeah, great, I appreciate that. All right, so last thing here, my friend. So one thing we found that works really well for people going to the next level, which is, potentially enrolling in our program with Chris, is, we do have a video. It's about 5 minutes long, and it goes over a lot more about how our program works. This way it'll probably answer some questions you already have, just so the call is a lot more pleasurable for you. And this way, if you do have any other questions, please bring them to Chris. So do you have like 5 minutes tonight, John, you can make for yourself just watching the video? Because I want you to have a really great call with Chris tomorrow at around 12. So is that okay with you? Can you do that for me? Oh yeah, Alex, no problem. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. All right, my friend, look, you are set up, right? We got you scheduled. You know to contact me in case you can't make it. You're watching the video, so you are ready to go. Any last questions for me? Nope, sounds good, man. I'm excited. Great, that's what I want to hear, man. Because look, in the next 2 months or so, you might be in that house, right? You might be in a position where you're providing for your family. You can start planning vacations again. And honestly, I think this could be a fantastic fit if you choose to work with us. And honestly, if you do, let me know, man, because I want someone like you in my team. You're a go-getter. You're a motivator, okay? All right, John, have a great day. Take care.